Hello to everyone that is joining me this morning. It's always an honor and privilege to begin the day with you. And so we have a divine opportunity several times a week to share together on Mondays and Fridays. I am on Facebook and also on YouTube, and I'm also streaming to Twitter now for Mondays and Fridays for 7 minutes at 7 a.m. I'm also now Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. at the feelhispresenceradio.com. You don't even need an app. You just type in from any device that has the internet capability, feelhispresenceradio.com. And I'm on there at 7:30 in the morning for a daily download. And that's about 7 minutes as well. So thank you so very much for the opportunity to start the day with me. And I appreciate it. I really do. Because the one thing that you're giving up or the one thing that you are doing is giving your time. It is the one resource that you don't get back. So the only thing you can do with time is make the most of it, or you can redeem time, that is make more use of or buy back time. So you get more in the moment than the times that you have wasted. So I am so thankful to all of you that have been participating in these things, and I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so very much. So typically what we do is put a word, put a phrase, put something in your atmosphere that we believe the Lord have touched our hearts with, and we thank you. We think it will bless your day. And more importantly, we hope that it blesses your life. And if so, we want you to share whatever you have received with someone else. My goodness, I think that's the greatest compliment that you can give someone is the word of mouth to say, hey, this moment, this opportunity was a blessing to me, and I want you to have it. You know how it is. You go to a decent restaurant, you run your lips about it and say, hey, this is a good place to eat. It had good this, it had good that, it had something I needed. It was delicious, whatever. So today I want to put in your atmosphere a word called dedication. Dedication. It really means to devote or setting aside for a particular purpose. Everyone say dedication. Dedication. Do you realize that in order to really fulfill the plan of God over your life or to fulfill the purpose of your life, you've got to become dedicated to it? Even in the moment we're here now, what have you dedicated this day to? For many of us, we want to start our day with prayer. Lord, I dedicate this day. Lord, what would you have me to do? Or Lord, what should be our focus today? What are you dedicated to? You know, it shows up in the outcomes, your dedication to something. And also there's some synonyms that may be in line with that, like commitment, faithfulness, loyalty, dedication. What are you dedicated to? Who are you dedicated to? You know, your time, your talent, and your treasure is testifying what you're dedicated to and who you're dedicated to, right? I asked the question, what are you dedicated to? Who you dedicated to? Look at what's getting your time. Look at what's getting your talent and your abilities and your skills. Look at what's getting your resources. What are you spending your resources on? Your not just your money, but your treasures, also your money, your word of mouth. What are you putting all your good stuff in? That's where you're dedicated. Beloved, if the outcomes are not matching the will of God for your life or the plan of God for your life, then you have to rededicate. My goodness, you have to dedicate again. Something that I have on my Facebook cover page is repentance, remembering, and rededicating. So when we are in now the last quarter of this thing called 2022, you got to be thinking to yourself, what am I dedicated to? Who am I dedicated to? And should that be shifted or should that be adjusted? Devoting or setting aside. Can we park there for like 2 seconds? Setting aside. What that merely means is you have options. You have the ability to be dedicated to anything you want. But when it's focused on the will of God, the plan of God, who he created you to be, your life's purpose, then you're setting aside. You say, I'm going to pull myself to this. My goodness, I have all these other options, but I'm going to pull myself to this. I'm going to be dedicated. Some of the other synonyms that we could talk about: commitment, faithful, loyal. My goodness, that's really the word that we want to put in your atmosphere for today. Dedication. You know what I find? I find that we're most successful at, we're most at peace with being dedicated to the things that we should be dedicated to, our families, our faith, to what God has given us. We should be dedicated to it. Beloved, most of the time, an organization, a group, a task is only as successful as the people are dedicated to it. Uh-oh, about to get in a little trouble here early in the morning. Beloved, really, the real reason why some things don't get fully developed is there's not a full sense of dedication. There's not an all-in approach, devoting, setting aside for a particular purpose. My goodness. That's really something that I think we should really be really focused on. Dedication. I promise you this. Dedicated to the right things, to the right causes, to the right people will give you a life that Jesus promised in John 10:10. Life and it more abundantly. It is not. Jesus said, man's life doesn't consist in the abundance of things which he possesses. Life cannot be material only, unless that material is toward the will of God and the purpose of God. That will bring the life abundantly that we should be striving for. It's been my divine honor to be with you today. I hope this was a blessing to you. As I always say, every time I get an opportunity to share, don't curse this day. I don't care what you're facing today. I don't care what is in front of you. Why? Because we don't curse something God created. Number two, we also don't want to curse anything we're in. So you don't want to curse this day because you're in it. God made it and you're in it. So I want you to have an enjoyable rest of this day. And it's been my divine honor to be with you again. Take care. God bless and bye-bye.